Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It's Friday morning, January 15th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's episode of today's Best Stock Picks. 3-day weekend coming up, federal holiday next Monday. So hopefully everybody take time to recharge. It's been an amazing week of short-term trading. A lot of the stocks that have ran up end of December into the first week or so of January have now reached a point where they're a little bit overdone. We're going to talk a little bit about today the financial stocks earnings reports that are scheduled to come out pre-market today. Quite a few of them have had a really good run from November. So we're probably going to see a little bit of profit taking today. Even if we don't, the next move really kind of requires a pause. So one of the things we talked about yesterday is the difference between managing risk versus potential to actually hit your profit target. So every time you put on a trade, you have two numbers that are like the lines in the sand, right? There's put the trade on, then there's your stop loss, what you have to accept for the risk versus your profit target. And the odds of your profit target being hit versus your stop loss is really what building that trading argument is all about. So with the financials, because of how far and how much they've ran, really what we're looking at this morning is whether or not they were lowered expectations that they're planning to beat. But either way, they've had a pretty good run. Quite a few of them actually gapped yesterday, specifically JPMorgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, and Goldman Sachs has been really on fire. We'll take a look at that chart specifically. But the first three actually have earnings scheduled for today. One thing I want to point out today is because of the ferocity with which how easy it's been to trade and find order flow starting out the first 2 weeks of the year, we are setting up trades today for next week because you don't want to get involved too late. And we've talked about this quite a bit. It's one of the biggest things that new members to the boot camp kind of have to unlearn right away, which is finding a stock that hits a scanner and be, gosh, I can't wait to be in that stock tomorrow. But they don't realize that, again, getting back to the risk reward, which is really kind of everything we do, right? Is if this is the accepted risk reward and you're getting involved here, that deal is no longer the same deal. That trade is no longer the same deal because the reward potential has diminished. So obviously that means one of two things. You either pass on the trade because it's not the same reward potential for the risk, or you have to reduce your risk, reduce the place that you're getting in and managing risk, or reduce your share size in exchange for a smaller profit potential on that deal. So really what I want to get across today is we have a few trade setups, but we're really mostly concerned, and this is really important, setting up a watch list for next week, because the worst thing that can happen is we talk about a trade today, you don't game plan for it next week, and then it has another bullish run and you miss it because you just didn't have it written down either in your software, set alerts, or that kind of stuff. I do want to point out though, one of the things that we constantly talk about is order flow and tape reading. And a big part of those two things is price action with volume and really starting to recognize which stocks are in play right now. We as a group, as our community, we are constantly talking about, which is my mindset from being a prop trader for years, is putting money and tying it up in the market. And you want to constantly be in the right stock so that your markets go, the ideas have the potential to go higher. And then you take that profit and you look for the next one. So it's kind of like a never ending trend, right? Where you're constantly in the right ideas. But the opposite of that is tying your money up in stuff that you hope moves. Our job and really the easiest part of order flow is hopping on board of something that already has deep pocket buying. That's the trick to order flow. That's really the key to order flow and tape reading, is we're not guessing whether or not it's going to start moving in our direction. It's already doing what we want it to, but, and here's the key, this is that difference between chart reading and tape reading. Tape reading actually says there's still profit potential, and in the boot camp, we call that room to go. So what I want to get across is the two stocks that we've really traded super aggressively and made a lot of call outs this week, which is DDD and GME. I hadn't traded DDD probably in 10 years prior to the last week or so. It lit up. We were all over it. It had room to go. It was easier to read. GME is another one that popped into our scanner, gave us one of our what we call optimal entries, and it made a lot of the members of the community, it made their month really in just a couple of hours actually. But here's the thing, and this is a really important long-term mindset kind of thing, is if a stock is in play, if it's acting kind of like a broken ATM, stay there. Don't go make one good trade in that stock. Say, okay, let me go see what else is going on. If it still has order flow, if the tape is still good, stay there as long as it's spitting out easier trades. Don't leave it. Look for the next entry. Look for the next entry and continue to trade it until the tape tells you, okay, we're tired, like a lot of stocks are going to do now. So this is really kind of long-term thinking about how to position yourself to make money reliably. And that's first find the order flow, then read the tape, and then stick with those stocks as long as they're still valid. And that last part is really what separates chart reader from tape reader, which is chart readers are looking for patterns, tape readers are looking for money. And if you want to learn how to do this in a lot more detail and actually get my class for free, click down and learn about the bootcamp. It's included with everything that we do. So we're going to head over to the charts. I believe, based on what we've seen in the price action of the financials, we're probably going to see a little bit of profit taking. We're probably going to see them pull back a little bit as earnings are scheduled for this morning. So we'll take a look at the three main ones that I'm going to be watching, and then also set up some trades for the upcoming week, which again, we have a holiday on Monday, federal holiday on Monday. So hope you enjoy 3-day weekend, recharge, and we'll come back with some really good trades next week. Oh, by the way, if you make some money on these, or if you find the videos helpful, definitely click down and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have any comments about the video, the stocks that we cover here, definitely leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so starting out with the three financial stocks that we've discussed. Wells Fargo, again, as you can see, very similar to energy stocks, have really been rallying hard since early November. And what's going on now is because, again, this is part of tape reading, this is part of order flow, they're a little bit of extension now to the point where what are the odds of the next move being higher and actually making money on that next move? So we want to set up some trades where the down, that's ironic, the two charts look identical, and JPMorgan, where if we put money in harm's way, what are the odds of that money being higher 3, 4, 5 days from now? So I'm looking for a pause, maybe even a little bit of a pullback. If they explode to the upside, great. I'll actively day trade them today, but then I'm still looking for a pause for a little bit longer term price action. So again, just if you haven't been trading triple D, not double D, triple D, which was up 100% the other day, or GAME, GME, you're missing out on some really good profit opportunities and some really good trades. Again, you need to be able to make fast decisions. Now, I'm not saying to trade them today. This is really more of a situation where I'm actively day trading them, again, waiting for a pause, setting up new longer term trades for next week. And I want to keep with this theme of setting up trades. So again, BBBY, that's well bid now, coming out of an optimal entry, cleared some breakout levels. I'm looking for a pause here over 26. So you got to start writing these down in your trading journal. W, same thing yesterday, just exploded through our target. You can see what our target is there, pulled back quite a bit. We'll be looking to day trade this today, getting that bullish echo going into the next trade, and then looking for a new trade around 350 or above as far as a swing trade. The one trade that I do really like today is double D. DuPont just had a vicious volume-fueled rally through 70 up to 88 and change, closed a little bit lower the last 2 days. I am looking to buy today's lower opening in DD and look for the next bullish move higher. That's probably one of my favorite ideas today. SFIX is another one where we're setting up the next trade. In the community, we actually spent a lot of time talking about this pullback, the fact that you do not short sell strong stocks in a bullish market. Look for the stock to find a bid, and quite a few members took profits yesterday, got out into that 72, 73 area. Again, day trade echo today, looking for new longs, looking for a pause for the next swing trade. Again, in the context of setting up new trades in the future. And again, this is critically important. You don't want to miss them. I have an alert set for Lazar at 36. And along those same lines, FireEye, F-E-Y-E, with an alert set at 24. Upwork is one that's made its way into our game plan for today. I'm losing track of time. I guess I didn't have enough coffee this morning yet. We're actually looking for a lower opening. This is a key to this trade right now. As it pushed to new highs, pulled back, and it went well offered and closed on the lows. This is one of the most common questions we get about how do I plan for the open. I'm actually looking for a flat open to push down and then look for a spot to buy Upwork today. And very similar in run today. Very, very similar. Now we have two well-offered candlesticks closing on the lows, strong sector looking for it to find support somewhere around 86 in that area. So we're looking for a flat open and a push down. The futures are actually trading a little bit lower. Again, profit taking. Everybody's like, my gosh, what's going on? We just hit new all-time highs recently. It's kind of normal for the market to pull back. It's not something to feel like, oh my gosh, it's not going up every day. This is stuff that we talk about. You really need to understand what the natural flow is of the market, which is normally a push and a pause, a push and a pause. We've been spending a lot of time in the community, especially in the boot camp, talking about, look, milk these obvious moves for as much as you possibly can. Learn how to hold those winners longer. When we get a pullback, which we're expecting a little bit right now, we'll be patient. We'll look for ideas in play that day, that week. And then when these stronger stocks that have been really obvious and easy to read, and quite honestly, easy to find really good setups, we'll jump back in those stocks when they've given us a better reward to risk profile, which will probably be next Tuesday or Wednesday. But we do have some good ideas today. So remember, set alerts at those levels. Make sure you have the type of opening that you're looking for today. And that's really what it means to hashtag trade like a pro. You start to actually prep the open. You're scripting your success, which is a really exciting part of trading when you have that much conviction to say, this is what I expect to have happen today. And listen, this is a big deal. Even if you plan 5 stocks and say, this is exactly what I think is going to happen, and only 2 do it, think about that. 2 did exactly what you want. Who cares what the other 3 did? Everybody's like, oh my gosh, 3 stocks didn't do what I thought they were going to do. So what? Let them go and jump into the ones that did exactly what you expected and make money because you did the hard work on all 5, but 2 are the ones you should have printed money in. So again, let's have an awesome finish to the day. This has been an amazing 2 weeks of trading. If you found the last 2 weeks struggling, you just need a little bit of help with game planning and setting up the structure to understand order flow and reading the tape. Definitely click down and make the investment in the boot camp. It's 30 days. It's not a subscription. If you want to continue after 30 days, that's completely up to you. I hope you do. I hope it proves to you it's valuable. But definitely learn down and at least find out what's included. I think you're going to be surprised with everything that you get for the 30-day training. Have a great day, everybody. Have a safe weekend and a long weekend to recharge. Take care now.